In the summer of 2017, I set off to discover the people of the Pacific Northwest. My first destination, Portland, Oregon. My third conversation, about the community's reaction to a recent tragedy.
Okay, so yeah, I usually catch a train the same time every day.
Yeah?
It had just happened. They pulled here, was the last stop.
Like, do you normally ride that train?
Yeah, the green train.
But you couldn't take that train home because they interrupted train service.
Everything. Yep. So I guess the guy was giving a couple women a hard time, and a couple guys stood up to him, and he ended up pulling out his knife. And it makes it a little bit more scary. One, as a girl, because there's so many weirdos and we don't have that much protection on the train. Two, like my kids, my son rides it is a little bit more of an eye-opener to the world's a little more scary than you realize. Yeah. In your routine, and you don't think twice of it, you know?
Do you see this as a sign of the times, or was this just a freak thing that happens once in a while in any large city?
I feel like it is the fluke things that you can't, you know, it happens. It's the circle. But I do feel like it's getting worse.
What's it?
Just violence, everything. He was not one little bit of sorry for anything he had done. And he was yelling at the judge that what he had done was okay and blah, blah, blah.
Does Oregon have the death penalty?
I don't know.
If it did, would you want him to die?
Yeah. If you're choosing to take someone else's life, an innocent bystander, yeah.
Besides talking to your kids and doing what you can for your family and your own safety, do you think you could do anything, or others could do something to help, maybe help the country simmer down a little bit?
We totally could, but nobody pulls it together, or like they had the Trump rallies or this and everything turns violent.
Right.
You know, and you can't do that.
Would you describe yourself as kind of being independent, not really being one way or the other?
Yeah.
And you're just kind of sitting back watching both sides go crazy? Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I really thought the guy was joking when he ran.
Right.
I'm not even joking. I thought he was gonna, a couple months later, be like, you fools, you all thought I was going for it, and pull out.
So when he won,
yes.
What was it like here in Portland?
Be ready for hours of waiting on the train. They wouldn't even stop at some places because the riots were out of control and they were afraid that people would try to stop the train.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't like
there was nothing peaceful about any of it.
When Trump won? Okay. I thought you were going to describe a scene that was very depressing.
No.
You're talking about rage.
Oh gosh, yeah. All over the city. Car lots being broken, brand new cars, windows broken, buildings in Northwest busted out. It was ridiculous.
How did you feel about the protesters? Were you like, go guys, go get them? Or were you like,
when it starts to interfere with people getting home, or traffic, or you're not going about it the right way, then no, just stop. Don't do it. I make the joke, this is what happens when you give every kid a trophy.
What best describes your emotion after, and I'm going to give you some choices. Okay. Was it depression after Trump won? If you realized Trump won, was it depression, anger, shock, of those three? Shock. Okay.
Because I really thought it was a joke. To the point where at that Christmas, my friend's like, I'm going to get a Trump sweater. And I was like, get me one too so we can wear it. And I wore it around Christmas. Not a supporter, not any. I thought it was a joke.
Would you ever wear it around?
No.
Why?
I wore it once. Oh, no, not now. One, I'm not a true supporter. And two, the looks that I got even when I wore it that one day, people like followed me around, took pictures.
This was
this sweatshirt.
And you wore it one day long before the election?
Well before, yeah. I got it in December.
So almost a year before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But people were still not liking it.
Oh no, that will sit in my closet for the rest of forever.
Are there other murders in Portland, like inner city crimes? You know, gangs? So do you see it as sort of strange that there was all this, the community coming together for these two victims, but then you'll hear about a drive-by in another neighborhood, no one will care? Do you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
I don't want to say necessarily, but white privilege. It's the inner city. It's the inner city in Northeast that you don't hear too much about. You don't hear about all the normal stuff, all the small stuff, all the stuff that...
Small in quotes, right? I mean, people die.
Yeah, right.
You see it as white privilege.
Right.
Coming from a city that denounces white privilege.
Right. My son graduated 2 years ago, and it's either his junior or senior year, there was a school shooting right at the end of the year.
Really?
And I had all the teenage boys over. They always around my house, and I was like, all right, what's going on? What's going on with your generation? Like something's off. They're like, you want to know what the real problem is? And I was like, yeah. Every parent is trying to be their kid's friend. And they're like, there are no rules. There are no nothing. They want to be their friend and not their parent. And they're like, why do you think we're here every day? And I was like, why? And they're like, because you have rules.
I interviewed a mother and fiance, or former fiance, of a man who was killed last summer in Minneapolis. And I asked them about the problems in the inner city, and that was one of the things they said.
I think what happened is a lot of parents became their friends. They get them everything they want.
Yeah.
Instead of what they need.
Yeah.
Kids need that direction. They need that parenting. Yeah. And they respect you more for it. We're not here to make their life easy. Every time my son said that I was a life ruiner, I patted myself on the back because I knew I was doing a good job. I'm not there to make it easy for you. I'm there to teach you.